Hi, this is Mike from Boca Film Studios, and I'm here to talk about how to land a client through a personal phone call. Don't try to be cutesy.
I know and I will. And I'll be like,
oh. I'm gonna probably ask you some questions.
How do I sit?
Just sit.
That
So today we want to talk about that first phone call that you make with a client that you haven't necessarily met and that you probably don't even know. Tonight we're actually going to be on a phone call with a potential client who reached out through email and someone who is looking to get both videography and photography. By the way, this is my wife, Kristen. You might remember her from the time that she was a jerk to me on camera.
So, I'm Mike Zale, and I like to vlog.
But our company, Boca Film Studios, is actually a husband and wife team. My wife does the photography. She helps me out as a second shooter as well with videography, and of course that's my deal, is I'm on the video side. And we really wanted to talk today about how to land clients just through doing your homework and your research about them once they reach out to you. Okay, so we're about to get on the phone with Lauren and Lee, who reached out to us. Actually, they found us on The Knot and wrote us an email. We wrote them back. We gave them some information with our wedding packet, and they said, hey, let's set up a time to talk on the phone. So we have corresponded back and forth a little bit, but we always like to have a phone conversation with our potential clients. Actually, I think it's one of the easiest ways to show a little bit of your personality and to actually land that client just through that personal interaction. So we have a couple things that we like to do. We have a couple things we like to ask. And certainly we like to hear from the client, because I think we're at a place now where we really want certain clients. We want clients that are going to want to dance, that are going to want to potentially read letters and do a first look. They don't have to do a first look, but we're all about the audio. We're all about the story. So I feel like we have started to be able to be a little bit pickier with our clients and really just choose the ones that really fit our style, which I know sounds a little bit selfish because it really is about them, but honestly, every client should have somebody that works perfectly in their niche. And I think ours is mostly the art of storytelling and really bringing out the story, the journey that they've had along the way. What are some things that we like to ask clients when we get on the phone with them?
I think one of the biggest thing is just knowing how they met. College, work, where you're from. We've gotten a lot of clients I've met actually on, what's that app?
Tinder?
Tinder.
I'm glad you don't know what Tinder is, babe. I appreciate that.
I don't know what Tinder is. I just know you swipe.
Sure.
So it's nice to know where they have come from, just so we're able to tell that story on their wedding day.
Yeah, and actually, you know what's really great is when you ask questions that sometimes you may even already know the answer to. So one of the questions that I asked Lauren when she reached out is if they have a wedding website or a knot website, something like that. We really do like to do our research. We actually like to understand their story a little bit before they tell us. And we also like to kind of see what things they're into, what's their style. Some of these venues, I mean, if they're out of state especially, we don't really know the venue. We don't know it that well. So we want to do some research and make sure that it's something that we feel like we can do that really fits our storytelling style. So yeah, definitely we ask them about their story.
Well, we do like to ask just about themselves, what they do as a profession. I think that's always nice to know. Their hometown, where they live. I always like to know just a little bit about them. If they talk about mom or brothers and sisters, just kind of ask a little bit about that.
That's true.
Some more, just to get to know them. Make it, like you said, about them.
Yeah, and they have our wedding packet, so they actually know our pricing and they know our packages. So I don't really feel very apprehensive talking about pricing because they've already seen it. If they didn't like our pricing, if they thought it was too expensive, we probably wouldn't be on the phone with them. That's not always the case. Sometimes they just ignore the email in the packet, but we find that out pretty quickly. But the other thing we really like to talk about when it comes to the the actual packet, we don't bring up the certain packages. We just let them talk and say, so what is it that you're envisioning for this wedding? Certainly, it's really good to show your own personality. You know, one of the things that I think we do pretty well is we joke around a little bit, or we just talk to them like people, like friends. A lot of these clients, honestly, we invite over for dinner at some point just to get to know them better. If we're trying to pull a story out of them, it only makes sense that they feel comfortable with us, you know, shoving cameras in their face in order to get that story. And it doesn't happen unless they feel comfortable.
And if they still book with us after dinner with 3 boys, that's good. We did a good job.
That is true. That is true. So really, by the end of this conversation, we're kind of hoping that we have some confirmation of what they're looking for so that we can put together a customized contract for them. It's going to have, you know, it is going to have the package for both photo and video, or sometimes it's just photo, sometimes it's just video. And ultimately, they're going to get the bottom line dollar amount. They're also going to get, you know, the travel expenses and the lodging and all the other things that go into making this more on the business side. So the phone call is really just kind of a soft sell. We think that they're already kind of there, but you never know. So hopefully some of our personality shows through, because ultimately I think that's what helps people feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. So we want to get their story. We certainly want to show a little bit about ourselves and maybe our experience. We certainly want to get more onto the business side. What kinds of films are they looking for? What kind of photo packages are they looking for? Tell us a little bit more about the venue and the ceremony. And then let us know about your family and the situations that might be involved there. That's certainly important. Oh, and the biggest thing really that we need to know just for planning purposes is if they might already have a timeline for their entire day. You know, if their ceremony is at 1 p.m., we're going to have to hustle to get there, or maybe even go the night before to try to figure that out. And if it's an evening wedding as well, we just need to kind of get all the information up front. The problem is that since this is really the first time that we've talked to them, we don't want to jump all the way to the end where we're booking a hotel, because we really want them to feel comfortable. We can let the business side be through an email. This is really our time to kind of show our own personalities, because they've seen our work, they've seen our pricing, they've seen our packages. Now we just want to sell ourselves. Is that okay to say?
No, I mean...
We really want to sell our product and who we are through the product.
Right.
Is that better? Okay, so let's get on the phone with them. And do you have to do one first? These are cell phones. It's not 1960, babe. Have you never called anyone outside or... Oh my gosh.
Do you see the camera?
Yeah.
Say hi to it.
Hi.
What's your name?
Luca.
What should you be doing right now?
Going upstairs.
Going upstairs.
To bed,
okay.
yeah.
Good night, buddy.
Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. This is Mike from Boca Film Studios. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? I have my fiance Lee here as well.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Lee. How are you?
Doing great, thanks.
Good. And we're here with my wife, Kristen.
Hi, Lauren and Lee. How are you?
Hey, Kristen. How are you?
Good.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Well, thanks for hopping on the phone with us. We're really excited to talk to you guys a little bit and just kind of hear your hearts for your ceremony.
Yeah, thank you so much for chatting with us. We really appreciate it.
Of course, of course. I had a little bit of a chuckle when I was reading your story. Not that the story is funny, but there was a part that you had in there that was like, you know, obviously I said yes because I wouldn't be writing this message. You wouldn't be visiting this post. I thought that was cute.
Yes, that was Lee's writing. He took over that part of the website.
I love that, Lee. I think that's... I mean, the thing is that the girls get all like the lovey stuff. You know, we got to mix it up sometimes with a little bit of humor. So I appreciate that.
You gotta mix it in, throw a little humor in, or else it's too sappy.
So we actually went to school together in the same major and didn't meet until the last semester of senior year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, somehow managed to skirt by each other in a school of only 6,000 for most of our time there. And we met at the end of, our college career pretty much. And much to many people's advice not to, started dating a month before graduation when we didn't have jobs, didn't know where we were going, and luckily fate intervened and we both ended up here in the city. We lived in Brooklyn when we first moved here, and now we live in Midtown Manhattan.
Wow.
And we have been here ever since, and we got engaged, what is it, it's a little over a month now?
Oh, congratulations. That's really, really
Yeah.
cool. So where are your families from? If you went to school in Ithaca, you're in the city, where are your families from?
So my whole family is from Brooklyn, and then I actually ended up growing up a little bit outside Scranton. Me and my parents
Sure.
moved there when I was young, and Lee is from outside the Philly area.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is just, it's actually kind of a central area as well, too, for the most part, right? Where you're getting married?
Absolutely. Yeah, pretty much everybody's no further than like 2 hours away.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
that's awesome.
That's awesome. Honestly, New York City is awesome, but they don't let me fly my drone, so Ithaca is going to be beautiful. All right, so what else do you want us to know before we get into the business stuff? What else do you want us to know about your wedding?
So we are most likely going to end up doing ceremony and reception and cocktail hour there, just because, it's beautiful, and he's got the whole setup already ready there. It's an 8-room inn, and we're going to stay there, I think, on site with our bridal party and have everybody get ready there the morning of together, and then do the ceremony. We're hoping to have it start around like 4 o'clock. Do a ceremony there right in front of the apple orchard behind the cocktail hour garden, then move into the cocktail hour and the reception. And we've got a bridal party of 6 each, so it's 12, and then us.
Now, in some of the photos, I see a big tent. Is that where the reception's going to be, in the tent?
Yeah, so what they do is he has a big stone patio out kind of in the middle of everything, and he brings in a wooden dance floor that they lay on top of the stone patio and then do the tent on top of it.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
The place we put all of our photos from the past couple of years in there.
Yeah, and your wedding party. Like, you actually have pictures of them up there. Look at that. You are so on top of things.
Hey, Lee, good job getting on top of that, man. I know that was all you.
It was all Lee. I had nothing to do with it. He's worked
That's cool.
absolutely tirelessly on all of this.
Oh, that is so funny.
That's great.
Now, talk about a little bit about your families. Do you guys come from a big family, or?
So I'm actually an only child. My huge family extension comes from cousins. My dad was one of 7.
It's going to be loud and a lot of fun.
Okay, and you're an only child too, Lee?
No, I have 2 brothers.
Oh, 2 brothers. Okay. Wow. Okay. So you're one of 3 boys.
Yep.
He's the oldest.
We have 3 boys too. It's pretty crazy. Did you give your parents a run for their money?
My mom actually, and I'm sure this might be a great idea for you. My mom has a tiara on top of the fridge, and anytime it gets to be too much like a fraternity house, she runs to the fridge and grabs her tiara and stands in the middle and goes, "I am a lady. There is a lady present. Please get the spaghetti out of your nose. Thank you."
I love that.
Love that too.
That's okay. Let's switch this a little bit. What are some of the things that you're really hoping to do? And I get that this wedding's a little ways out. Maybe I shouldn't even assume that you haven't thought this through because I'm positive you have. But what are some things that are kind of like, we really want this to happen with photo and video?
So my 2 things personally, and I think you would agree.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger takeaways from us is that we really want that 3 to 7 minute highlight reel that
Yep.
kind of has music video-esque feel to it.
Absolutely.
That and having that like come out beautifully is super important to us. Like I know that that's something that I would go back and watch a million times. And,
Absolutely.
like, post every wedding anniversary. Like that is something that is huge for me to have.
Yep.
And then in terms of photography, I mean, obviously you definitely want the post photos with like parents and bridal party and us, but the candid ones where, you know, we're on the dance floor and we're like laughing at each other, he's spinning me around, or I'm dancing with my maid of honor.
Yep.
Like those are the ones that I'm going to frame and put up in my house. So
Absolutely.
we definitely want a photo team that captures those moments for us.
So, a couple other things. You guys are the ceremony's at 4. So, have you guys had a conversation about a first look?
We have. I personally would want the first time that he's seeing me to be when I come down the aisle. So I don't think that we're going to do a first look in place of that.
Yep.
I'd probably want to do like a first look with my dad or
Yes.
like my bridesmaids, something like that, just because I want to reserve that moment for like that powerfulness of like, I come in and like I'm here and this is the first time you're seeing me.
I love that. Honestly, we're 50-50, Kristen and I, on that. We like first looks just simply because we're able to get more before the ceremony, and then it's less pressure afterwards. But I also love letter reading. If you guys write letters to each other.
Oh, that's a cute idea.
Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, okay, so you really got to know each other in a specific class. So, and that's a cute story. Our story is that we had one class together in college because we also met in college. And I think we broke up like 7 times because it was calculus.
Oh, yeah.
It was calculus. And she was like, no, you got to do it this way. I was like, you are wrong. And
Well, who got the A in the class?
I don't remember.
I did.
Is that true?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Anyways, not that part is important, babe. Unreal. I think that, again, you're spending this moment. You are waiting to see each other until that first time down the aisle. And this is the one time, I guess, before the ceremony that you have to really just talk to that other person through something that you might write. And what's cool about that is that really the first time that you are going to be able to see that is when we put together the highlight film, or if you also do another one. We sent you the wedding packet.
Yes.
Did you have time to take a look at it? Have you seen some of the various options that are there?
We did, yeah. So we are actually holding it right now, and I showed it to him before we got on the phone. For the film, the video package, I feel like we could go with the base package.
Yep.
Just because we're looking for, the biggest takeaway for us is that highlight film.
Yes.
And,
absolutely.
And then for wedding photography package, we were in between the base package and the middle one for 2 reasons. One being the time, but if anything, we could just add on to the base. And he actually, before we even got engaged, had gotten me as a birthday gift a couple's photo shoot here in the city.
Aww,
that's awesome.
And then it worked out that we were able to use it for engagement, but that's not happening until the beginning of May. So we kind of want to see how those come out, see if we like them, and then if necessary, maybe do an engagement shoot. So we're teetering between those 2 options just based on what happens there.
Well, I'll tell everyone this. So Mike's base package, he's there for 10 hours. My base package, I'm there for 8 hours. If clients book both of us at our base package, I'm there 10 hours no matter what. I'm not going to stop working after 8 hours and have Mike work 2 extra hours and I'm in the back with my feet up. So I just complimentary just throw in those 2 extra hours because if he's there working, I'm there working.
Right. She's my ride, so I can't.
Right.
Got to stick around.
So I have to stick around. So those 2 extra hours, don't worry about that at all. So and then if you do decide to go with us and you get your engagement photos done in May and you would like an additional engagement session with me, at that point we can just talk about it then. So don't feel like you need to book that now or what, because we're pretty flexible. Like Even going forward, if you want, like one of Mike's typical add-ons is the doc edit, and he can talk to you about that. But even next May, if you think, gosh, no, I really want that doc edit, just let us know and we can totally work something out. Lee, how many times have you disobeyed your parents and come downstairs at night?
Your flashlights.
All the time. It was my favorite sport.
It's your favorite sport.
Can you say hi to Lauren and Lee?
Hi.
Can you say hi?
Hi.
What is your...
Hi. What's your name?
Luca.
Say it loud.
Me Luca.
Luca.
Oh, I wanted to ask you. You guys are like about an hour and a half outside Ithaca, right?
Yeah, I think I looked it up. It was like an hour 40, something like that.
So are there any like travel fees incurred with that?
Yeah, so it's in our contract, and it's actually, I think, a pretty good deal. We charge mileage one way, and we're, right now our contract says 40 cents a mile, but we're going to go with what the IRS rate is, which I think is 54 cents. Also, if the drive is over an hour, we also reserve the right to ask for lodging. So sometimes if a bride and groom have a block in a hotel room that they're reserving for out-of-town guests, and that's something that works out for us, we say, you know what, that's fine. Why don't we just jump on there, especially if that saves you guys some money. Otherwise, we kind of search for pricing in the area, and we just try to find the lowest price option and just say it's a flat rate of, our typical is like $150 or $140, whatever really seems the most reasonable for that area. It's one of those things where, if we're done at 10, like you were saying, really it might be more like 11 by the time we pack up and then drive 2 hours.
Well, want to make you guys drive all that way back.
Yeah, we're running around, so sometimes that's a long day. Yeah. But that's just part of, we can have that conversation. But that is very typical. That's typically how it works for us.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then what would a deposit be to reserve you guys and the date?
Our deposit depends on what packages you start off with. So if you change the package down the road, that part doesn't matter. So if you guys go with right now, the base for photo and the base for video, it would end up being 15% of whatever the total is. Now, we don't, and I'm throwing this in there for a reason, and we can come back to this, but all of our deliverables are digital. So we do online delivery of the videos, and there is a gallery that Kristen sets up through a company called Pixie Set, which is actually great because you can go in and you can do what you got to do in order to get prints and that sort of thing. But because we don't do physical copies of anything, we actually save you in charging you sales tax. We don't have to charge sales tax if we don't have a physical delivery. So that's actually several $100s. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's something we looked into, and actually we were charging people that, and we refunded everybody. We said, hey, we found out from our CPA that we don't have to do this if we're not doing a tangible delivery. And it was kind of nice because then they went and they actually added more to their packages. So, but obviously we want to be honest with our clients. So from here, we just like to let you guys, if you want, you take a second and try to talk it through. And when we hear back from you, we can go ahead and, based on what it is that you're thinking you'd want to do now, we would just draw up the contract that's specific to you guys. It'll have some information that we'll want. We'll want to make sure that we've got both of your email addresses and phone numbers. And there's actually a lot of information, but it doesn't all have to be filled out. Can you remind me what's in it?
Yeah, the last 5 pages of our contract is kind of
By the way, that sounds so daunting. The last 5? The first 40 are nice. No, just kidding.
No, I mean, I think the contract itself, I think, is like 3 pages.
Right.
So it's really not that long. But the last 5 pages, and it's more just kind of like worksheets for you guys to help you think through your day. And I mean, Lauren, you seem so well organized, that you probably have already thought of this stuff and have spreadsheets already. But
Thank you.
it's really just like an emergency contact. Like if I can't get a hold of you, who can I call that day? What special photos you want, just so you guys can kind of think of them and list them out. Like, is grandma going to be there? Let's get a photo with grandma. Just helping you think of what you need to do.
It was nice to talk with you guys. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys too. Thank you.
As well.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good night, guys.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Okay, so that's really how we handle most of our phone calls with our clients. We really, again, try to show the personal side of what we do. We have to wade a little bit into the business side simply because we want to know the best way to build a contract for them that we can enter into this relationship together with. And I hope that they got to see a little bit about us and who we are. Certainly they know a little bit about our family because Luca came down 3 times. And the best way to do it is to let them see that side of us.
Sure.
Do you remember that? Did you ever see that video where there's like some big important guy in front of the? Do you remember that? And the
little
kid comes
daughter
running
comes
in the room.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they do. Pardon me.
Anyways, I just think people want to have that connection because you're going to spend that whole day with them, and you're going to be capturing their really special day. So we like to be flexible with them on the packages as well. I mean, we can try to upsell somebody, but the truth is that everybody's got their own budget. Everybody's got their own style, and everybody's got things that they prefer. So will they pick higher things down the road? Maybe. I think that people picking our base package is totally fine. You just can't have a base package that is so low that you don't want to do the wedding because you can't afford it or you can't take the time and effort to do it. So we put a lot of thought and time and effort into that. And so if that's what they want, perfect. We're still going to do a phenomenal job for them, and even set up in a way where if they wanted to add on something like a doc edit or a longer highlights, we'll have the footage to do that. So I think other than our kids coming down and the one light going out, hopefully this video was helpful to you in just some of the things to hopefully it gives you some things that you would want to bring up in a conversation. We always feel that if we can get a client on the phone, I think we close at least 90% of all the people that we're on the phone with. And then usually once everything is all set, or even sometimes before it's all set, we'll invite them over for dinner, because I just think that that's the best way to sell. There's a million people out there that take photos and that do video and weddings. What makes you unique? I think that's what's important.
But not just being unique, but I think that human side of the business.
Sure.
Just having them come and see our crazy kids and who we are as parents, and
And how we even are as a couple.
Yeah.
We get that comment a lot, like, man, you guys work so well together, which is weird because usually we're like yelling at each other. Get out of the way. Get out of my shot. But, I don't know. People gravitate towards that, and I think that that's an important side of the business. All right. Well, if you liked this video, we really hope that you hit the like button. You hit the like button. We hope you hit the like button and that you subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for being here with us. We've got so much more to do on this channel to show you. Thanks for being with us on this journey as we go forth in this crazy venture that is a husband and wife owned business. Thanks so much for being here. Happy filmmaking.